I don't.
Take a seat. Still plenty of empty seats. I have no idea how beautiful it is. Thank you, Dario, for bringing us together today in a way that we haven't ever been together. There's more chairs about, so you can have a seat. Go ahead and get started. Can you hear okay? Is that better? Okay, good. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for coming here. My name is Larry Krishnek, and I'm here by virtue of being a friend of Dario Pisano's and by the good graces of his family. I'm so happy to be standing here for many reasons, but one is just to see all of you. My gosh, everyone should come up here and turn around and look. Don't do that now. But I thought, what a great work Dario's done already. What a testament it is to a life of love. There's so many wonderful people who gathered together today to assist him on his eternal journey. Typically, when we consider life in the framework of the physical, we live in this physical world. It's around us all the time. You know, we're dealing with it. We're dealing with traffic, weather, food, neighbors, friends, attitudes, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But that's only just a small part of it. You know, our life on earth is like that. You know, we come and we go. But it's the most significant part of all eternity for all of us, because this is where we experience what we're experiencing here, which is love. And that's what feeds our spirit, and that's what grows us, so that when we move on from the physical life, then we can live in the realm of true love, which is eternal life. And so this is an important time, but it's not what we're meant to be forever. We have to move on. Dario knew that, and he did that. So let's give Dario a big hand. Anyway, I think when we go to funerals, you think about it's for people who have passed away, right? We're here because Dario is alive. He lived in love, and his spirit is complete, and he's ready to be where he is and to move on to eternity. I'd like to explain a little bit about our ceremony, our celebration here today, and it is a celebration. It isn't a mournful time. There's tears, that's appropriate. There's someone who's filled gaps in our life for many years, so they're not there. That takes time to adjust to. That's a part of it. But a SeongHwa ceremony is a celebration of the commencement of one's life as an exclusively spiritual being. Think about it as an exclusively spiritual being. All of us, we probably have Tylenol in our glove boxes and pills that we take and doctor's appointments and things that we need to go to. That's not a part of Dario's life anymore. He's free. I heard that he said to Reverend Ryan, I've lost 65 pounds. I plan to gain it all back as soon as I get to school. Plates of heavenly pasta. So, Dario, although we're sad because we don't have him physically right here around us, he's very happy. And he's very happy that we're all here right now. He's probably doing cartwheels. And just now, Mrs. Coriel, whose husband passed away a few years ago, she was telling me how close she feels to David all the time, how she's talking to him in her mind all the time. And she's as much in love with him as she ever was. So this is life. So this is a part of life that brings us into the place where we can live for eternity. So it's a time of a beautiful and enlightening and joyful time. According to Father Moon, it should be even more exciting than our blessing. In the unification tradition, we have the blessing of marriage, which is the ultimate big deal. But this is even more fantastic than that, because it's the blessing is a part of learning love on earth, and going to the spiritual world is bearing the fruit of that love. So it's not a time to be too sorrowful. It's like an insect coming out of a cocoon, getting rid of its shackle. You could use the metaphor of a butterfly, like the worm caterpillar becoming a butterfly. Kind of like that, but not exactly like that. So today we just want to honor Dario and help him on his way on this journey of faith. The SeongHwa ceremony is the opportunity for us to be able to do that. So to begin with, I'd like to first of all welcome up our district pastor, David Ryan, who will be sharing a prayer. Brother Ryan.
Good morning, everybody. A lot of people here, so wonderful to see you all. Please join me in prayer. Now, dear Heavenly Parent, we are gathered here to celebrate the SeongHwa ceremony for our dear brother, Dario Pisano. And as you know, SeongHwa is a Korean word which means to ascend nobly. And Heavenly Parent, we understand that a person's ascension into the spirit world is a holy and sacred moment that happens only once in a person's life. We are fortunate today to participate in Dario's sacred moment, to cheer him on as he ascends nobly, triumphantly, and victoriously. Heavenly Parents, the many flowers we see in this room testify that Dario touched the hearts of many. We found Dario to be an easy person to be around, and if at times he could be loud and expressive, it's because above all, Dario was Italian. And Heavenly Parents, it should be noted that like all Italians, Dario loved food. If ever you were at his dinner table, there was always an abundance. He considered food to be a source of love, and this motivated him to set up a distribution program to deliver food to those in need. And Heavenly Parents, surely you remember when Dario was a youth, wondering why life seemed so unfair and difficult for the people around him. His search for answers led him to embrace atheism and communism. But then one day you touched his heart and called him, and he responded, and he became a filial son to you for over 40 years, wanting only to comfort your heart and to do your will. And Heavenly Parent, Dario will be remembered for the loving family he created. He said his greatest pride and treasure was his matching blessing to his beloved spouse Keiko over 40 years ago. The fruits of their marriage are the 4 wonderful daughters they raised, Manai, Amy, Sunny, and Esther. They are sitting here now, missing Dario, but full of pride that he was their dad. And so, Heavenly Parent, today we send our dear brother Dario Pisano into your loving arms. Please remember, it was with pride that Dario would often proclaim, "I am the Son of God." And as the angels are helping him to ascend into his new life in the eternal spirit world, surely Dario has already called out to you many times, "Hey God, here I come." And surely each time you have answered, I know, Dario, and I can hardly wait. So, arrivederci, Dario. Please know you are greatly loved and will be dearly missed. Thank you, Heavenly Parent. I report this in the names of all who are gathered here, and I pray this in my name, David Ryan, of the Blessed Central family. Amen. I do.
Thank you, Reverend Ryan. Thank you for prayer. I've been asked by the family to read Dario's biography. Reverend Ryan just prayed a little bit of it, but we'll get it. And it's too bad we don't have more time to read more about Dario. But Dario Pisano was the 5th of 7 children born to Roman Catholic parents in Sardinia, Italy, in August of 1955. He spent a happy childhood in the Italian countryside, but after enduring years of harsh education and military training, he became a self-proclaimed atheist communist, denouncing God and eager to join the French Foreign Legion as a mercenary. However, oh, by the way, I'd ask people to please turn off your phones. That was the first thing I was please silence your phones. However, in 1977, Dario was witnessed to by a member of the Unification Church. Despite his skepticism, he soon became assured not only of God's existence, but also of his forgiveness and love. Dario began witnessing and fundraising himself, starting in Italy and England, then voluntarily relocating to America to participate in 7 years of witnessing efforts. Although Dario loved his Italian homeland, he ultimately considered Washington State his new home. Good move, Dario. In 1982, Dario was picture matched with Keiko Okada of Japan, alongside with 2,075 other couples at Madison Square Garden in New York City, USA. This blessing he received at Keiko was and remains his greatest pride and treasure. Dario and Keiko raised their 4 daughters in Vancouver, here in Vancouver, Washington, attending the Portland Family Church in Westland, Oregon for over 30 years. He worked for 24 years at Wacom Technology to support his family. Dario volunteered for many years at summer and winter camps for the youth, where he would help educate on faith and family values and cook alongside his wife and encourage kids in the lunch line to take what you want, but eat what you take. That's kind of a motto that everybody who ever went to camp. By the way, as an aside, my children went to camp, and when they heard that Dario passed, each one of them had such kind words and sweet memories of Dario. Yeah. Dario was passionate about food, as David mentioned, and always said food is God's love. This passion would lead him to create a food distribution chain that took local surplus groceries and gave them to families, shelters, and nonprofits. He was compassionate, encouraging, and faithful. But above all, Dario prided himself in being a son of God, striving to appreciate his blessings, gifting those blessings to others, and being a consistent source of joy, laughter, and love. Dario and Keiko achieved the level of Chunbo couple in recent years, which is one of the highest esteems within our unification faith. Furthermore, he and his wife fulfilled their desire to have all 4 daughters blessed within the Unification Church faith. That's remarkable. After retirement, he enjoyed traveling to new countries with his family and eating at all-you-can-eat buffets. In his downtime, he would garden in the backyard, hunt for squirrels with his BB gun, and read well, hunting squirrels? No. I think he did that separately. Reading Hundake, or Holy Scriptures. Dario survived several heart attacks and a stroke, only to be diagnosed with esophageal and stomach cancer in January 2023, 2 years ago. He passed away into the eternal spirit world on Friday, January 10th at 10:21 a.m., surrounded by his family. He's survived by his wife of 43 years, Keiko, his 4 daughters and 4 grandchildren. He is greatly loved and dearly missed. Thank you, Dario. At this point, we have a musical offering, and I'm sorry, I don't. Beth, oh, just a Beth and Bree. I'm not sure about the last name, but they're going to be performing first.
Have I told you lately that I love you? Have I told you there's no one else above you? You fill my heart with gladness, take away all my sadness, ease my trouble, that's what you do. Oh, the morning sun with all his glory greets the day with hope and comfort too. You fill my heart with laughter, you can make it better. Ease my trouble, that's what you do. There's a love that's divine, and It's yours and it's mine, like the sun, oh, like the sun. And at the end of the day, we should give thanks and pray to the one, oh, to the one. Have I told you lately that I love you? Have I told you there's no one else above you? Fill my heart with gladness, take away all my sadness, ease my trouble, that's what you do.
It's beautiful. Mother and daughter. Well, our SeongHwa message or eulogy today will be offered by Pastor Typically SeongHwa. So, Typically SeongHwa, come up now with the message.
Morning, everyone. Before I begin, I just want to address Dario. And he's just enjoying his life right there, but I miss him already. Dario, I miss you already. And I want this to be a beautiful and solemn and exciting time for all of us and for you, because you have been, for me and everyone else, a dear friend, a dear brother, and an amazing person. And I know I speak for everybody here. I miss you already. Miss you. And when we saw you a few days before you passed away, you said you're going to open the doorways and gateways and the roads, so that you've already prepared things for us as well. So I'm looking forward to the nice road. I don't want it to be bumpy. Well, today is speaking about Dario Pisano. This is, can you see the screen okay?
Yes.
It's Mr. Dario Pisano. From 1955 to 1924. Oh, sorry, 25. Sorry. A life well lived. He lived an amazing life. Next. Dario and Keiko Pisano. Era of a Choyogu. Two becomes one. And you know, so oftentimes I see Dario and Keiko. I don't see them as just one person or two people. I don't just talk about Dario, but it's always Dario and Keiko. They are always together. And I love them about them is that they are not two people, but they are actually one person. Dario would say, Mama, always talking to Keiko, and Keiko, Daddy, talking to Dario. I never heard them call each other by their name. I never heard Keiko saying, Dario, no, or Dario calling Keiko. There's always a words of love and companionship. But today, Keiko-san, Komeda-san, Shima-san, I'm going to be talking about Dario. Okay? But you guys are one person, so when I do speak about Dario, I'm also speaking about you. Next. Dario's life. What defines a man? He is defined by God. He's defined by his family. He's defined by his community. Next. He's defined by God and has divine spirituality. A gift of God. And you know, when you look at Dario, he always had this abundancy of spirituality. You know, he's floating like a couple of inches off the ground everywhere he goes, because he's led by the Spirit. Next. He's defined by his family. And it's a beautiful family. Oh my God, they're an amazing family. And grandkids. You know, it's like, I felt very fortunate. I watched the girls grow up. I see them as they grew from little girls to become women and mothers. And they're amazing to behold. And they married amazing men. So that's great. It's amazing. Next. He's defined by his community of friends. And I see many of the pastors here. And you know, Dario, this is his church here in the barn. Pastor Dario.
Amen.
And he reaches out to his community because this is what he loved and had a passion for. He loved God, he loved Jesus. Everything about him exuded everything he believed, and he lived that life. And he was always a man of love and always loved dancing. Dancing was part of his life. You can see him in the far left side. There he is with Keiko. Next. And right here we had a couple of Christmas ago, we had a celebration here. Christmas tree right over to the side, inviting his friends, and we always had so many events in this barn. In this barn. You know, the woman that sang just recently, ahead of Beth, she used to own this place, and she sold it to Dario and Keiko. And when I first stepped into this place, it was just, gee, it is a barn. It had a little tractor over there, over by Matoy-san. There was a tractor just sitting over there, and he worked and worked and worked and worked. And look at what this place had become. And he and his daughters were putting sheetrocks up everywhere around, and the insulations and everything. He put his sweat, blood, and tears into this place. And even though he's not here to enjoy it, but in many ways he is. Because he was able to express and put a lot of passion in here. Next. Well, who is Dario? D is for determined, driven, dedicated, devoted, dependable, dazzling. He is a person that can move mountains, do the impossible, because with God all things are possible.
Amen.
Next. A is for accomplished, amazing, ambitious, amiable, admirable, aspiring, and authentic. As a person, he has done so much and is so real as to who he is because he knows who he is. Next. R is for resilient, reserved, resolute, remarkable, rare, reasonable, respected, and romantic. He loves his wife. He loves his wife. I mean, I see him a lot of times in public, and what does he do? He kisses his wife. Because he is romantic. He is a person, he has set his mind to accomplish, and he gets it done. Thy will be done. Because he has a love of others and a confidence to do it. He fights to the very end. And even to the very end, he was fighting. Not wanting ever to give up. Next. I is for inspiring, incredible, impressive, industrious, impartial, impactful, indebted. As a person, he has always grateful for what he has and what he received. Without others, he is nothing. He is the person that always gave and gave and gave. Sometimes I think, well, gee, Dario, I don't think that's possible. But he said, no, it's possible. Just have to put your mind to it, and he does it. I mean, I don't know. It's like first time I met him, he was out there living in Salem, delivering pizza. I mean, can you imagine Dario just delivering pizza as a job? But he said, I'm not going to do this forever. This is something I'm doing right now, but I'm going to do something greater. God wants me to do something more. I know it. And he ends up here in Vancouver. He buys a property, gets a job at Wacom after over 20 years working there. What is that? 24 years he put it into Wacom. That's a high-tech company. And then finally, Wacom was moving to Portland. He said, that's it. I've had it. Not going to do it anymore. And since he left Wacom, his life really even took off. Really, really took off. So really proud of you, Dario, for leaving Wacom. You know? Maybe some of you are still there, I don't know. But Dario went on to something greater. Next. Always for optimistic. He's open-minded. He's an original person. Outgoing. Hey, he went out fishing on a Mother's Day on a boat out there in Depot Bay. Cold day. I mean, I don't me personally, I'm not a fisherman. I don't even like being on a boat. But Dario felt at ease. This is what he likes. And I don't remember, I think he caught fishes too. I had a struggling, and a lot of people got sick on the boat. Dario did okay. He was open to new opportunities that came his way, businesses or family or otherwise. He sought always to go forward. Looking back at where he came from, and I said to Dario, you know, Dario, look at where you are and never forget where you came from. Say, I know where I'm going. And he had this entire vision about having a home, a place where God can work, and yeah, here it is. This is what he's dreamed about. Next. He has all these qualities, but what makes him successful? Spiritual or physical or otherwise. One main ingredient is in his heart with his wife of 43 years, and this is his 43rd year, you know. They serve the same heart of love and giving and receiving. It was so apparent at the Nikkei picnic. A Nikkei picnic is a picnic that we have at Oaks Park, and I invited Dario, I don't know, over 20 years ago to come, and he always came and he always buy tickets for raffle tickets and bingos and things, and after so many years, I watch him. He always wins. He wins. He wins in bingo. Bingo! You know, I don't know how many tickets he buys, but he buys these tickets for a raffle and he wins. I buy tickets. I don't win. And he receives these prizes over and over. Well, that was part of the answer. He was totally giving. Always giving. Haha, that's the answer. Bingo! Next. Here he is, a picture of him, of his booties, of his winnings. He's got flowers, pots, he's got all these different things that he will win. Blessing comes because of the blessing he gives. The more you give, the more you receive. From Proverbs 11:24. Those who give generously receive more. Well, he will win these prizes at the picnic, and he doesn't just hold on to it for himself and his wife. Come to these programs here, all of a sudden he's giving them away. He's giving them away to people. That is part of his success. And when I see Dario, I see Keiko, and they're doing this together. You know, and they're really an amazing couple. It's a couple, not just one person. Next. And toward the end is a very victorious Chombo couple. They have accomplished things in the church that not that many in our church have accomplished. And there's a picture of them on the wall. It's called the Chombo wall in South Korea. There's a picture of them. There's a picture of all those who have achieved the level of Chombo couple. Next. So in concluding, it is not just knowing who is Dario, but rather, who are we? That's all of us here. How do we fill the shoe of a person such as Dario? Shoes now left to be filled, to continue what he has started. Let your life as well be defined in the same way. And as you go on in life, what legacy are you going to leave? Are people going to remember you? Are people going to remember what you have achieved? What you have sacrificed? What is it that you have most precious to? And with Dario, it's his family. Above all, Keiko-san. He loves his family. He loves his daughters. I can attest to that because he always tells me, I love my daughters. He didn't say, oh, I love Esther the most or something. I love Manai-san the most. No, he always says, I love my daughters. And I love Keiko-san. There's the most special part in his heart that he loves and loves and loves. So, finally, it's just, Dario, I'm just so blessed to be your friend. And I'm grateful that you asked me to do the eulogy. Because I am your friend, and not just your friend, I'm your brother. You're my brother. You're my friend from a long time, and whenever I see Dario, I think, I feel so Italian myself. I feel Italian because there's something about me, and I just say, hey, I feel very Italian just by being around him. And oddly enough, most of the people I know who are close to me, they're Italians. So maybe there's a little bit of Italian blood inside of me, but I doubt it. Sometimes I would watch The Godfather and say, oh yeah, I can relate to this completely. But yeah, Dario, I'm going to miss you. I miss you very much. And you have done so much. So with that, I just want to offer a prayer. So please join me in prayer right now. Our dear Lord, we come to you with thankfulness for all that you have poured upon this land. You have prepared each one of us to be something that we are not, but something that you have prepared each one of us to be ready for, to sacrifice, to give, to have the heart to love the unlovable, to be able to pour out our whole heart to do more than what we were asked to do. We're just grateful that we have the opportunity to call Dario our brother and part of our family as well. We're grateful we're having this opportunity to this SeongHwa. And as you, Dario, go into the next world and you're traveling at the speed of light, we pray that you may find deep hope and love with Jesus, with you, and all around the abundancy with those who have come before us. We just want to offer this with all our brothers and sisters, and Terry and Linda and Chicago. Bless such a family. Achu. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Terry. I think many people here are thinking of the eulogy that they might give to Dario in that opportunity. Might not be a bad idea. If you have a special memory or something like that, write it down and send it to Keiko and to their family. It's a wonderful part of their family legacy. Yeah, we should all do that for each other. Oh, thank you again, Terry. At this point, we have a piano offering from Hidetoshi Motoi. I believe that's, he's there and ready. Thank you. Let's please enjoy it. Dario's son-in-law, husband of Manai, and the daddy of this beautiful little girl over here. Thank you very much. That was lovely. Well, now we would like to hear the testimony of the Pisano family. And so I'll just turn the mic over to all of you, and you can decide who goes first.
Thank you very much for coming today. It's really, I believe my husband is so happy to see each one of you. We don't have a relative close by. I come from Japan. My husband is from Italy. Because of that, my husband taught community as an extended family. He always wanted to make a community gathering place for God. Therefore, that started to fix this band. Twice he had heart attack and then also stroke. But yet he never gave up to making this place band as nicely to fix. In January 2023, he collapsed. He was taken to hospital 3 times. Before we found out he had cancer of esophagus. So he got the radiation and the chemotherapy treatment. But last September, the cancer spread of the whole stomach. The doctor said impossible to do the surgery. We tried to so many other things, and he was doing okay. He was able to drive and he can manage himself until November 2024. All of a sudden, his condition changed, and every day he has so much pain and nausea. He was so struggling. Someone told me that cancer is the best way to die, since people around them have the time to prepare. But it was so painful to see this struggle. And he begged to God. He was praying so hard for just 1 more year. He wanted to live. He had a plan. But this time, God had a different plan. God had a big plan for him on the other side. It's still hard to think he's gone. Sometimes he would complain to me, "Why don't you express more affection? Don't you love me?" Because of Japanese culture is different. We do not passionately express love like Italian. But still, God protects us through the 43 years of marriage. My husband said many times to my children, life of important 3 things. It's be grateful, respect, and purity. And last word for me, don't worry, I will take care of it. He was my pillar. He was the best my husband and father. I really miss him. Monday night or Tuesday morning, Nia, Arina, and Esther, they had a dream of my husband. Maybe he's walking around to here to each one of you to greeting to you. He promised he's gonna give you the message. Please enjoy today's celebration, and also thank you for support for prayer and this event, all that arranged by the all daughter, especially Sunny and Arina. And I'm really proud of them. Thank you. Please clap hands for them.
Hello everyone. My name's Manai. I'm the eldest daughter. I like to say I was his favorite. That would be biased. But I know towards the end of my dad's life, he said, each of you daughters touches my heart in a special way. You know, he adored each of us so uniquely. And I first off really want to say thank you for being here. Each and every one of you, some of you flew in, some of you drove, took time out of your busy weekend to come. And though my dad passed away 9 days ago, it was a rush to try to prepare his send-off to the eternal world. And so I'm really grateful that you're here because it helps bring closure to me and to all of us, and also celebrate and honor his life. In many ways, having you all here is like a full circle to his life, because he loved nothing more than to bring people together and celebrate God, celebrate with food, celebrate each other. He just loved community. He loved having celebrations. And so this day, today is like a full circle to his life, and I'm so grateful. The last 3 months, my dad was in and out of the hospital and the emergency, and I would joke with him, and I would say, "Papa, you're like a cat with 9 lives. I don't know which lives you've used up already." But I was so grateful for the time we could spend with him, especially as we cheered for him to make it through to Thanksgiving. And once he did that, we said, "Hey, can you try to make it to Christmas?" And then he made it to Christmas last year. And then we cheered him on, "Can you make it to New Year's?" And he did. He made all 3. And I want to share a quick conversation that I had with him before he passed away. In the final weeks of my dad's life, we were in the dining room table. And this was when he could sit still and eat. And I asked him, what was he most proud of or grateful for in his life? Like, what was he most proud of in his lifetime? What was he grateful to have accomplished? And me being me, I expected him to say like, "Oh, I'm proud of you daughters," or "I'm proud of our family," or "I'm proud of being married to Kiko Mama." But he actually said none of those things. And instead he was silent, and then he began to cry. And then he said, that he was most grateful to experience and hear God and establishing a personal relationship with God. And I wasn't expecting that. Growing up, he would always remind all of us that the most important relationship that we could ever cultivate and nurture in this lifetime is our relationship with God, our Creator, and our Heavenly Parents. I was reminded that we are all meant to be born from love, live a life of true love, and then we return to love. And our Heavenly Parents are the root and source of that true love. And that our life here on earth is preparation for our life, eternal life of love. I will miss you, Dad. And I'm thankful to have witnessed your faith and deep relationship with God. You have instilled in me a yearning to do the same in my lifetime. I am grateful for your commitment to love Mom and for going beyond language limitations and cultural differences. Thank you for always cracking jokes with all of us. Thank you for your honesty and grace-filled presence when I needed someone to talk to. It was a privilege and an honor to be your daughter. I pray you may fly high and kiss the hands of God. Thank you for building a legacy of love. Thank you, Dad.
Amen.
So, I actually didn't prepare a talk because I knew and I would kind of cover it all. I know, she's so eloquent. And then I hear all my sisters prepare talks, so I'm like, oh, dang it. But I obviously still didn't actually prepare a talk, and it's really because what can a daddy's girl say, and all of us were daddy's girls. We loved him so much, we're gonna miss him so much, but I can tell you this, he would be so happy if he were in here, because he'd be so happy to see all of you guys just here and ready to party it up, that's his motto in life. And this morning I gave my mom a big hug, and I just right away was like, wow, Dad would have just told you how beautiful you look and how good you smell, and it was just, there are so many things that we're gonna miss, and just his presence, just somebody's presence. And I think just so much has been going on, and like my sister said, he had many lives. So I didn't know if it was really going to happen. And we're really grateful for the time that we did have with him, that we were able to say goodbye, but it's still really hard. You're never really fully prepared to do that. And now I'm just I wish I took more video, I wish I took more pictures, just to spend with him, just to have. And I know that we'll see each other again, and he was always telling us not to be sad, as he's going, that he's going to be going to a better place, and we know that. The pain that he was in, we absolutely know that. So I'm just so thankful to see all of you here today, and and appreciate all of your love. So I miss you, Daddy, and really can't wait to see you again.
Hi, I'm Sunny. I'm the third daughter. I kept promising my dad I wouldn't cry, but I knew I was lying. One of my dad's final requests was to be celebrated by being surrounded by flowers. And at one point he held up a finger to my mom and was like, but, Keiko-san, don't go fundraising with the flowers afterwards. I recognize basically everyone here. And obviously, he loved each and every one of you very much, and you clearly loved him to travel. Many of you on flights or driving long distances or moving aside your busy weekend schedules, as when I said, to be here. And he, I can't imagine where he is, but he's probably dancing in the casket right now. And yeah, it's like his goal was always to have as many people at his parties as possible. He loved to party, and I inherited that from him. And yeah, it's like who knew that his biggest party here would be the one where he's in the casket. We're not celebrating that, exactly, right? We're not having you gone. Yeah, as when I said, we would often joke that, Dad, you're like a cat. You have 9 lives, but actually we counted and it seems like he had 13. 13 hospitalizations, 13 times, just about 13 times we said very tearful goodbyes thinking that he wouldn't make it. So it's very true what my mom said, that he was a fighter and he just kept rebounding back, and then God just had different plans at the start of this year. So actually, to correct Uncle Terry, he didn't lose 60 pounds, he actually lost over 80 pounds. And that was without the help of Ozempic. We had actually purchased this casket about 2 months ago. And he, when he found out, he actually said that he wanted to get a video of him climbing into the casket and be like, I'll see you on the other side. He told us that we should play it at the funeral, but we're like, we're not going to do that. That was my dad. He had the best sense of humor, even facing death. He would joke with the nurses at the infusion center who were hooking up like a concoction of IV fluids, drips, and all that into his arm. And he'd ask them, hey, can you add some minestrone in there? Especially because nearing the end, he couldn't really eat. When we were little, Dad would ask all of us girls, like maybe we were 7 years old or younger, he would ask, who's going to take care of Daddy and Mommy? Who's gonna, when they grow up, gonna take that care of Daddy and Mommy? And I would always raise my hand, not really knowing what that meant. Be like, I will, Dad, yeah, I will. I'll take care of you when I'm older. So Jeremy, my husband, and I, we moved in here to be with Dad and Mom in May of 2023, just a few months after his diagnosis. And living with him was so fun. But it did come with its drawbacks. This one time, Jeremy, he had baked like the most delicious platter of brownies. Jeremy's very good at baking. And obviously we demolished it so quick. And actually one of the last few slices, it was late at night, and it seemed like the whole house was in bed. He had warmed up one of the last slices, and he placed it on the kitchen countertop next to like a hot cup of tea. The fork was right there ready to go, but he was like, oh, I don't know what he had to do, but he had to like run upstairs for some reason, like not even gone maybe 45 seconds, like not even. And when he comes back down, the brownie's gone. There's crumbs left on the plate, the tea is untouched, the spoon is left there, and it wasn't me, I was upstairs, I have an alibi, my mom's pre-diabetic, so we can conclude. He would joke, well, there's a little mouse in the house, and we're like, no, Dad's not a mouse, it's a rat. I would tease him with that question, who was your favorite daughter? And contrary to what Terry said, he would say Manai immediately, every time. Most parents, you would expect them to say like, oh, I love all my children equally, and like, I can't choose. But not my dad. Every time I asked him, he'd be like, Manai. But this one time he followed it up by saying, well, Sonny, Manai, she's a parent. So she can understand a parent's heart, and I can relate with her in the parental realm, and you're not a parent yet. And he said, that one time, he said, Sonny, when you become a mom, you will become my favorite. This isn't a pregnancy announcement, by the way. And I would tease him and I'd ask, Dad, how do you expect me to have a baby when I have to baby you? Because that's the reality. I know that we can tell really funny and happy stories about my dad's life, especially nearing the end, but the truth is it was very painful. Seeing this man who's so full of life and vitality, just like the biggest, loudest lad. He could literally command the attention of any room he walked into. Literally shrink to under 120 pounds. And literally be held back by his physical shell. That's what it is. Yeah, he, nearing the end. Oh, can you guys hear me okay? Yeah, nearing the end, he very much regressed. It was like almost like a full cycle of life. He regressed, he became like a toddler again, like a baby. We'd have to assist him a lot. Walking was difficult. He would start to collapse a lot, and he had to wear his adult briefs, and he needed a lot of assistance, especially the last few weeks before his ascension. And I do want to say though that when this all kind of started out, my dad was a little embarrassed by it, but it's like, Dad, you're a dying man. Like, there's nothing to be embarrassed by. But one of the hospitalizations, it was just him and my mom in the room, and he didn't have a chance from being taken to the ER. He didn't have a chance to clean himself after his collapse, and he was so embarrassed. He didn't want to tell the nurses, and so he was like, Mama, quickly come. You have to clean me before the nurses get here. No, don't call the nurses, just do it. And so my mom is, amazing, and of course she starts, and he like immediately like, ow! She's, in her poor eyesight, started using Lysol disinfectant wipes. So I think trust was broken there a little bit. He wouldn't mind me sharing that story. He loved that story. So us sisters, there's 4 of us, and we certainly inherited a lot of things, but most especially an adventurous spirit from Dad. Between all of us sisters, I didn't even try counting. We've probably visited dozens of countries, and many of those multiple times. We're very adventurous at heart. I've been to almost all 50 states myself. I love to travel, and it just seems like as much as we go out there and explore new cities and cultures and amazing food and meet amazing people, it seems like always our favorite place was to come home, to Dad and Mom's place, to Dad and Mom's house here. My dad always would joke that the more he pushed us out, the more we come back. We were like boomerangs. He's like, I try to kick you guys out, and then I end up moving in. So I'm like, sorry, Dad, you're not getting rid of me. But that was the power of my father's love. I don't know who exactly said this, but it was some old billionaire man, probably late into his 70s, a billionaire. So this man who had like all the wealth to last several lifetimes, and who by every definition, essentially, you would consider a true success. He said that true success is when your adult children want to hang out with you. And it's true. We loved hanging out with Dad. I would like to read a quote by Reverend SeongHwa, who's our faith founder. He said, "Is God happier on the day we were born into the physical world, or at that moment we leave our physical body behind? At that moment we are born a second time into the realm of the infinite expansion of love. We become His new children through death. Of course God is happier at the second birth. I am telling you this because you need to know that you cannot have a relationship with God unless you are released from the fear of death." And Dad didn't fear death. The last few days leading up to his ascension, just a few short weeks ago, he kept insisting that we shave him with the electric shaver. And Amy at one point kind of snapped at him, and she was like, "Dad, why? The mortician's gonna handle that anyway." And my dad was like, "No, I have to look good when I meet God." God now, Daddy. And I think God is so happy to be with you. And I'm really jealous. And my goal is to approach this life, the rest of it, the same way you did, with humor and as little fear in my heart as I can muster. And I can only hope to be the kind of parent to my children that you were to me. I love you. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Esther. I'm the baby. I'm getting over a sick, getting over a cold, so my voice is a little low, but bear with me. Okay, mine's pretty short. Okay, my dad was a man of integrity. Other than when he played cards. Or Monopoly. Or any game for that matter. For the record, it rubbed off on an eye, so be careful. But Papa had integrity regarding his role as a father to me and my sisters. He always told me that he wished he had the same guidance growing up from his dad. I can't pinpoint a single moment that defines how my dad was such a great father, but I can say with 100% purity, he was responsible for the following: my trust in male leadership, feeling secure both spiritually and financially, being open to explore new places, having a deeper relationship with God, and it being okay to cheat at games sometimes. Needless to say, there's more, but we all know he was a really wonderful man. Although it was a shock for me to see his body when Seb and I arrived. Seb is my husband. Sebastian's my husband, he's in the back. Since my dad passed right when our plane landed. And it made sense to me that my dad's large spirit could not be contained anymore by this shell. I so strongly feel his presence is with me always. When I sit long enough, I can feel how it was to hold his hand, to touch his face and hair. I feel closer to him now that time and space does not separate us. I believe Papa is forever in our hearts, and that's why we are all here, because our hearts were touched by this man in some way. We are all a testament to love, gratitude, and joy, being eternal, since he has since moved on to the next realm. Thank you all for joining today to celebrate my dad's life. I bet my dad is jumping for joy seeing all of you here. Thank you.
Pause. Makes you kind of reflect on what kind of parent you are, doesn't it? Thank you so much. That's really beautiful. At this point, we're going to have the flower offering, flowers, and we'll. I guess Jeremy's going to be putting some music on in the background. Each person will have an opportunity to grab a flower and take it and put it on Dario's casket. I think they'll move the flowers away from there. We have quite a few people here, so the ushers will be guiding you through the process, so when you go up, don't spend time bowing. You just offer the flowers and do the prayers later. But we'll be beginning with the immediate family, with Keiko-san and the daughters. Do we need to move anything from there? I guess, Sunny, you need help? Okay, they've got it. So Sunny is going to be leading this part of the program. Ready to begin?
You're very kind. Hey, Nabucco? How's Nabucco?
It's
Fine. Hey, how you doing?
Very good.
Good for a while.
Yeah.
How are you? When is your next event?
By SeongHwa, I'm waiting.
Oh, that's not funny.
Oh, come on, have a seat.
No, I mean, ambassadors.
Yeah, you can
Huh?
they're going to do. They felt the spirit just came in. So many people. Thank you very much. At this point, we have a song that we wanted to sing, a goodbye song, Sailing with Our Father, a song written by Reverend Dario. And I guess Jeremy's going to be queuing up the music for that. Should we stand up for that? I think we should. Let's all stand up. We're going to sing this song. Brother, Father, friend, Dario, Pisano. It is not on the screen, but do your best. In your pamphlet is the words to the song. And we'll be sailing with our Father. You know his ship will never sail. Oh, you hope on the horizon. We found the promised land today. Look out with joy in your eyes. The winds of truth will guide our way, leaving behind the raging sea. On waves of love we'll sail away, and we'll be sailing with our Father. You know his ship will never sail. Oh, new hope on the horizon. We found the promised land today. Darkness it always turns to light. The promised land is inside. He is our guiding star by night, and in the day our bright sunlight. And we'll be sailing with our Father. You know his ship will never sail. Oh, new hope on the horizon. We found the promised land today. Sailing with our Father. You know his ship will never sail. Oh, new hope on the horizon. We found the promised land today. We found the promised land today. We found the promised land today. Thank you. And now coming toward the end of this SeongHwa program, I'd like to invite all of you to join me together in offering a bow to our Heavenly Parent, our true parents, and to our brother Dario Pisano. Let's bow. Kyangbe. Maro. Thank you. Please be seated. Oh, we have also, yes, a special, Dario is going to speak to us. We have a message from Dario Pisano.
Wherever he is here on my funeral, please enjoy. Please have a good time. I'm going a better place. And thank you for all your prayers. You have prayed for me, thank you. I love each one of you. And I see on the other side. Thank you. I have no words how to express my gratitude. Bye-bye, everyone. We'll see you in sometime.
Gosh, that's so special to be able to leave a message. How many people get that kind of blessing? Dario is so blessed. Amazing. Okay, so I would like to offer a prayer as we come to the close of our SeongHwa. Please join me. Our God, our Heavenly Parent, we're so grateful for our lives. We're of course repentant because we've not really understood the value of our life so much on earth, and occasionally people come to remind us what life is for, and Dario is certainly one of those people. Today we heard the many testimonies from his family and from others about the love and the joy and the positivity and the creativity that he brought into the lives of his family and to others, and to many people who can't be here, people he touched in ways indirectly didn't even know what his name was. And we're reminded that we all have that same capacity, Heavenly Parent. We are created from love. We are made to receive and to give love. And our destination is a world of your eternal love. So we thank you so much that we could share at this time of SeongHwa for our brother Dario Pisano. And we can send him off, Heavenly Parent, to his eternal destination with our continued prayers and love. We offer this report in my name, Larry Krishnek, the Blessed Central Family, Baju. Thank you very much. So we'll now ask everyone to rise. We have a presentation of somewhere over the rainbow.
You find me, oh,
Okay, come back here. Yeah, that's